Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. So this is going to be a bit of a different video and hopefully you enjoy it, but I'm gonna meal plan and show you how I do it. I don't do this every week, but it is a system I'll use now and again, especially at times like these after like the festive period and stuff, to help me reset and work out what we need to use up, what we want to eat, etc. So if you want to see more, then keep watching. So welcome back everyone, happy new year, and I hope you're all okay. I hope you had a really nice festive period. I did. I always take this time of year to step back from everything because you do get a little bit of burnout of sharing and stuff in the role that I do, and I always think it's healthy just to have a break. But I'm back, and as I mentioned in the intro, I'm going to do some meal planning and like show you how I do it, like walk you around everything that I've got and how I come to the conclusion of the meals that I have, well, the meals that I'm choosing to make, if that makes sense. So I'm gonna walk you around everything, show you what I've got in, show you how I get inspiration, that kind of thing. So if you want to see a little bit more, then keep watching. Looks very serious, doesn't it? Right, so what I'm gonna start with doing is just go through the cupboards, fridge, freezer, and kind of get an idea of what we have in that I could use up. Maybe there's some things that I kind of want to get rid of, and then we're going to go from there. So I've cleaned out our cupboard recently. You might have seen that little like short or reel or TikTok if you follow me on various platforms. It's everywhere. But I have a rough idea, but I just thought I would show you again like what we're working with and some things that are inspiring me, you know, to get creative, make something, that sort of thing. Okay, one thing's for sure. We don't need any more chocolate because Mark has plenty. I do have two of these panettone, which I don't regularly eat, but I think I might turn them into a bread and butter pudding, maybe for like Sunday, because then they're used and like they'll be extra like tasty and luxurious, and then it's kind of like these last little Christmassy bits are kind of gone then. In this cupboard, I need some more arborio rice and potentially some couscous maybe, but I'm not desperate for anything like right now in terms of that. We have oats, we have granola, and we do have some cereals here. The kids, as you might have seen from previous videos, go through phases with cereal. They either love it or they hate it. Now, this is the drawer that kind of inspires me somewhat, because there are things in here that I can make, you know, stuff come alive with. So the first thing, as an example, I have some Chinese curry sauce. So the obvious idea would be to do a Chinese chicken curry. We love that with like rice, onion, peas. Sometimes I'll put mushrooms in mine and Mark's portion because the kids think mushrooms are the devil. I have some pine nuts, some, what is that, dried apricots, and some almonds, and I also still have some tagine paste in the fridge. So I'm thinking that it would be good to make a kind of you know, maybe a chicken tagine, which I could use couscous for, so I probably will buy some more couscous. And I've got things like panko for making, but you can't really see panko for making like you know, breaded chicken or something along those lines. I've got teriyaki sauce and hoisin sauce. I tend to have things like this in all the time for like last minute meal ideas because they're just so handy, and I love this brand. And then I have two Nando's peri peri bag and bake, so we could use those as well. And then I have some actually gravy knocking around there, but obviously I've got spices, salsa, mustards and stuff, but those are the key things that kind of spring into mind. In this drawer, if you saw that reel or short or whatever, you'll know that I have 10 tins of chopped tomatoes, so could probably do with using you know, at least 2 of them. They're all in date, it's fine, that's not a concern for me because they don't go off until next year, but still it would be nice to sort of make use of them. The beans we're going to use tonight, and then we have some butter beans and some coconut milk, which is kind of saying to me some sort of like chorizo, Spanish chorizo stew type thing, and a curry later down the line, but maybe not all for this week. And then in here, it's just kind of the rice, like, so for example, these are all just leftover bits of pasta. Mark just finished up some for his lunch because he had leftover spag bowl. These are his like lunch staples as well. He will add these to a pan with like some fried up halloumi or chorizo and veg sometimes. He is always hungrier at lunchtime than me, whereas I seem to be hungrier later on in the day. It must just be how our bodies work. We have 2 packs of spaghetti, which is good to know. I'm thinking maybe pasta sauce, spaghetti, something like that. Ramen, great for lunches. I've not actually eaten lunch yet, so I might even eat that myself. We've got some quick and easy couscous, again, which are great for lunches, a spare rice, a little risotto truffle mix from Aldi, and then a few little bits of noodles, maybe not for a family meal, but maybe for like a lunch for me and Mark, something like that. A bit of fettuccine and a bit of rigatoni and like little tiny pasta there, so that's that. And then this is just, it's bread and crackers basically. So those like for lunches, kids lunches, brioche for breakfast, crumpets for breakfast, bread and stuff for like lunches and breakfast as well, I suppose. I only bought this bread like the other day, but obviously when I'm making packed lunches, I use like 6 pieces at a time, so it goes down so quickly. This Jackson's bread, by the way, is just so nice. And then this is obviously the kids' snack drawer. I definitely don't need any sweet stuff. However, the crisps will deplete quite quickly. So I will need to get some more crisps. So what I'm going to do first is just write down everything that I think I need, and then we'll move on to the fridge. Okay, so far I've got couscous, crisps, brioche, because they're a really easy breakfast at the moment for the kids while we're back at school. I normally do it with yogurt and fruit in the morning, and it's quick and simple, and I know they're going to eat it all up. And then chicken, I will check obviously if I've got any in the freezer first, but a few of the meals that I've taken from what is in there would lend itself quite well to chicken, you know, like curry, the Chinese chicken curry, the Nando's, and then also separate curry. So it just depends what else I stumble across next. Okay, so this is the state of our fridge at the moment, and obviously there's not tons in post-Christmas. I always find that like you feel like you've bought so much food for Christmas and then it's just gone. I mean, especially when you're hosting, I find anyway, but this is all like our condiments and stuff. So again, I've got more of like a Nando's-y sauce to use up. I think, to be honest, this cream has been like, you're meant to use it within a certain amount of time, so there's only a tiny bit left in, so I'll probably bin that. We definitely need some more ketchup, so I need to add that to my list. And we just got bits and bobs. Like this is another thing that's saying like do a Nando's because you can use up the rest of the Pyrenees. We've got milks and juices, puff pastry. I know that needs using up as soon as I can do, so I might, I don't know what to do with that. I might make some pinwheels, you know, because they'd be good for packed lunches. Just roll like chocky pan of chocolat thing. I've got spare milk of mine. This is, I've got some gochujang, the tagine paste. I reckon that I could use that up, and then like I'll probably put those grilled peppers in that as well. So that's everything down there. We've got like ham and cheese. That salmon needs using up, so Mark needs to get on and eat that, because I don't eat it and it goes off in 2 days. And then over here we've got parma ham, we've got more parma ham and pepperoni, but the dates are all good. And then we also have hummus, which really good date on actually, until the 12th, so that's quite happy there. I've got some kimchi. This is on offer when I knit to Waitrose this morning, and I just couldn't resist it because I love it. I've got some grated cheddar and mozzarella, a bit of grana padano left, bit of Philadelphia, although that has been open a while and there's not much in that, so I'm not sure. I'll check that and see what the state of it is. I've got some gourmet raspberry yogurt because that was on offer as well. The cheese and chive dip is an alternative because one of Daisy's classmates has recently tested like positive for a sesame allergy, so no more hummus. Chocolate, aioli, they're going to keep fine. These are the kids' like boxes for packed lunches. So we're all right for yogurts, although I might get a few more because again, it's 3 at a time and they'll go in like 3 days. So I think there's about 9 of them. Chocolate mousse, they can have that for dessert with some fruit tonight. We'll probably get some more go-go squeezes. Pepperamis, it looks like we've got a lot, but again, they love them. It's a great little like protein snack for kids, and my kids are all obsessed with them, so I'll probably get some more of those, particularly if they're on offer. And then we have some eggs and butter there. So yeah, we've not got loads, and then we just got dribs and drabs of veg, which I need to sort of sort through really, because some of them will be left over from Christmas, but I'll have a look through and organise that. And then there's just like loads of lemons and oranges and limes, some watermelon and strawberries, and that's it in the fridge. So back to the list. Okay, so here is our updated list. I've added ketchup, yogurts, fruit pouches, ham and grated cheese because I'm going to use up the grated cheese we have to make puff pastry wheels. Actually, I need some more tomato puree maybe. So I will add that on in a second. And then on this side, I've done the things to use. So I've got the Chinese curry sauce, chopped tomatoes, at least some of them, Jesus. Nando's kits, puff pastry, and melon. I put prep it because if it's prepped, it's more likely to get eaten more efficiently. So I'm going to do that. And then the spaghetti, because we have ample of that, we might as well use some of it. And now I'm going to go to the freezer. Okay, so we're in the utility and this is where the freezer is, but I'm just gonna pause this on reflection because it's really loud. This is our freezer. This is me and Stan, obviously, and yeah, this is what we have going on in here. So, top shelf is normally where I put like batch cook stuff. So I know that this is aubergine curry because I wrote on it. I know that this is turkey curry with the leftover turkey from Christmas Day. Only because I've done it recently. Mark tubbed it up but didn't write it on, so I just need to remind myself. I could write it on, but to be honest, am I going to? Probably not. This is a mini lasagna, which I'm going to add to my list of meals for the kids that I can grab at any point, because I'm pretty sure in here we have garlic bread as well. These, I've wanted to use these for ages. These are Polish dumplings. I think they're Polish anyway. The quark and potato, but I always get so intimidated by making them, and I know I just need to go for it, but I don't know. Like, I've seen that you can boil these, but also I've seen people like boil them and then fry them as well. But if you've ever had them before and you have some advice on how to cook them, like, feel free to let me know. In here it's just ice that we have left over from Christmas Day, which is actually really handy to have. It only cost me £1, and it's quite nice to have in for events and stuff. And there's just some ice creams, which feels really wrong, but my kids like them. This is like meat and stuff, so we've got a few little mini sausages left over, which again could go towards like a meal for the kids. Nothing fancy, just, you know, you can make a little sausage pasta out of it, or sausage chips and beans, or I honestly don't know. Chicken thighs, I'm going to use these potentially for the Nando's, but that will still mean that I need some more chicken, because that's not going to be enough for more than one meal. I've got these lamb sheet kebabs again because they're really nice, and they're nice to have in the freezer for when you fancy like something a bit different for dinner. So I know I've got those cheese. I've got loads of prawns. So I think I hate seafood, but my family like it. So I might do like a prawn pasta dish, maybe prawn spaghetti. And then we have some of these, and these tempura king prawns are Bill's fave, so I could always do those with a snacky plate for the kids with other bits. And then in here we have some mixed veg, garlic bread right back there. Can you see? Probably a bit dark. 2 mini pizzas, some tandoori garlic naan, pizza dough, and some Onion barbecue beef gouda is like fave for lunches, and it's in the freezer, so it's always good to go. And I have them IKEA meatballs. So there's only a small portion, so I think I'll do IKEA meatballs with fries and the gravy for the kids, and some peas, because I like that. Not enough for me and Mark, but that's all right. And then in here is kind of like the kids' drawer. So we have some crinkle cut chips, and that's all the nuggets. We have the corn ones, so I definitely need some more nuggets. We don't need any more potato, because potato stars and more potato stars there. And I think they might be like roast potatoes. That looks like Aunt Bessie. Yeah, it is. So that is all freezer stuff. So I'm going to add this to my list and stuff, and then I'll report back. Okay, so this is where we're up to. So I've got my things teased up, like not urgently so much, but just things that kind of striking me as stuff that we could either like use quickly, or we have surplus of, or it'd be nice to just get them used so we can use the space in the fridge or freezer or cupboards for something else. And then these are the meal ideas. So I've got family meals, kids meals, us meals, like me and Mark, and then events. So on events you'll see it's my friend Becky's birthday. It's actually today when I'm filming this, which is a Wednesday, the 4th, and we are going out for a curry with her and her husband and our other couple friends on Friday. So that is like one meal, which then brings me to like us, because pretty much everything else that I have available for just me and Mark is all kind of like curry or like Indian cuisine, that kind of vibe. So we've got aubergine curry and naan, turkey curry, which to be honest I'm gonna leave in there for a good few weeks. It's frozen, it's fine in there, but I'm turkeyed out so that can wait. And then I've got sheet kebab, and I was thinking like with that we can do like salad, raita and chapati. So those are ideas, but will they be used this week? Probably not, because there's only so much that I can eat. If like I get bored quite easily, hence why my meal plans are always like here, there and everywhere, because I like to keep things varied. For the kids we obviously have the mini lasagna, and there's a garlic bread that would go with that, and then there's also the sausages, which I would really like to use up because they're open and it would just be nice to finish that bag off. So I think I'm going to cook them and do a sausage pasta bake on swimming night, which is a Tuesday. It's hellishly busy. This is something that I can make really quickly during the day when I'm making like my lunch, and just stick it on while I'm making my lunch and prepping that, and then reheat in between swimming, because it'll just save me a lot of time. And I always get so stressed out on Tuesday evenings because it's just exhausting. Thankfully this week there's no clubs, which suits me just fine. And then puff pastry, pinwheels, I'm going to make probably today and use those for packed lunches. So I've got the puff pastry, I've got some leftover tomato puree and also cheese. The tomato puree is going on the shopping list as well, because that will be all used up, and I like to have that in for so many different things. So yeah, that is the shopping list so far. I'm gonna add chicken nuggets to this, and probably some fries. I know it looks like we had a load of potato, but I don't know if you were like, you know, maybe you thought me and Mark would like a potato star, but they're not for us. I have potato stars and chicken nuggets and things like that in for impromptu play dates, which we often do have once school gets going. And I just like to feed children what they enjoy, especially when it's like a social thing. Like, let them eat. They're not there to eat really, are they? They're there to play. So I'm going to get some chicken nuggets and fries in, because Mark's favourite kind of chip is fries. I'm actually not a chip person. I'm more of a mash and a roaster girl, or even baked potatoes. I like them more than chips. But I'm going to get some of those in for like meals for me and him. Like, you know, when you just need to freezer dive and quickly find something to eat. That's what those are for. And then I'm just trying to have a think and see if there's anything else that we might need. We've got garlic bread. I might get some more naan bread in just for those curries. When, you know, we do have them. And the naan that I get and I love at the moment is the co-fresh one, and it's frozen. It's really nice. You saw that in the freezer earlier. So that is like everything else. Obviously, there are other things on the shopping list that I will need, like fruit and veg, but they're kind of things that I'm just always on top of, and I kind of buy the same thing every week when it comes to fruit and veg. And I make use of like any offers. But then meals for us as a family, Chinese chicken curry, I think that'd be really worth a go. I'm going to do a Nando's night as well. Tomato soup was the idea I had. So in my cupboard, obviously, there's 10 tins of tinned tomatoes. And I also have a tin of sun-dried tomatoes. And I was thinking, why don't I combine the two, have a nice tomato soup, get some basil in. I know I've got pine nuts, actually, so maybe I can make like a pesto to go on top, because those pine nuts are expensive and I'm not wasting them, Jesus. And then I thought I'd get some crusty bread in. Perfect. And it's like a vegetarian meal, which is always good. I'm going to do the prawn spaghetti. I'll probably make, like, I'll prep it all the same and then do a pan of prawn, and then I will do myself mushroom, because you can kind of interchange the two. I think I'm going to do like a creamy garlic mushroom, creamy garlic prawn, a bit of parsley, maybe a bit of chili flakes on marks after I've served it, kind of vibe. Yeah, so that's that. Teriyaki chicken, rice and veg, because I had that teriyaki sauce and I really fancy it. But that reminds me, I need some sesame seeds. So I'm just going to add that to my list. And yeah, I think that's it for now. And then I thought I could use the pizza dough up, defrost that, and do like pizza and salad night. I've only got 2 balls of dough, so I don't 100% know if that will be enough. But I can have a think on that when I'm doing my meal plan. So there's definitely a lot to be getting on with, but there will just be some other meals that I need to sort of add into the mix. So yeah, I think we are sorted, and now I just need to see if I can get a Tesco slot. I'm guessing at this late hour it's going to be a click and collect one, but let's do it. I thought it was also worth noting that obviously sometimes I will turn to inspiration. So for Christmas, for one of my Christmas presents, Mark got me this, which is Jamie Oliver's One, and it's basically just loads of one pan dishes, which I'm really excited to go through and try a few things. However, with bits that we need to use up, I feel like it would be more important to focus on stuff to use up first, and then this can be for future ideas. But what I would normally do is go through with like a post-it note and like tab anything that I want to make, and go from there. So that is one thing that I'll do. And then also I will refer to these. So I love a free supermarket magazine. Absolutely love them. I will always pick them up wherever I go because I'm obsessed. They're free, and I find it quite handy that I can like look at a recipe and then I know that that store stocks those exact things, and I can just kind of go back round and get them. So I love those. I've got the latest Waitrose one. This was like a Christmas one from Waitrose. And the only one that annoys me a little bit is Sainsbury's, because you have to pay for it. But if you have Readly, obviously I've worked with them before, it's not an ad. I also look on here, so the Sainsbury's one's on there, and you don't have to pay for it then, apart from the fact that obviously you've already got your Readly subscription. But yeah, I do use this quite a lot. It's quite nice to just like flick through, like Olive, I like other things like that. So that is one thing I refer to. And then the one thing that Mark does do every year, again for Christmas, is get me BBC Good Food subscription. He's been doing this for years, God, maybe 4 or 5 years, something like that, and he still does it to this day. So even though I can access this on Readly, it's still quite, it's like special for me, because it's just, he did it off his own back, and he knows what a passion I've got for food. This is the latest one, the Fast and Fresh one. So there's loads of ideas that again I will refer to when I've used up what we've got, but there's loads of stuff, you know, when you're just stuck in a rut. And I love making these videos and coming up with ideas and sharing them and stuff, but I'm only human. At the end of the day, I just get a bit stuck in a rut too, and I had a break from them at the end of last year just because I felt like I wasn't able to be creative enough for you. I felt like you would think I was boring, but my head had just gone. But they've got things like this, your 7-day plan for 2. So you can come up with like ideas, and the recipes are elsewhere in the magazine kind of stuff. So it's worth having a look at this one, whether or not you get it like physically or you look at it on like Readly or something. But I will always look at these, and then also websites as well, or inspiration I'll get from like other people, like Instagram, TikTok, or whatever you want to call it. Or sometimes I just get it in my head that I've got an idea and I want to make it, and that's when I'll do like reels and stuff for you. So that is all of those. Over to the computer. Okay, so this is me at my desk, and I have pretty much organised myself. I'm just gonna write this in, put my olive oil and veg. So, the meal plan. Why do I feel like you are so close? Maybe it's just I think it might be the setting that I put you on. I managed to get a click and collect for tomorrow. Between 9 and 10, so I'm going to do the school run, go and get the food, and not much more I can say. Put it out on my counter, film it for you, and edit that too. But I will give you a sneak peek at the meal plan. So I've decided on tonight we're going to do this comfort meal because it's the first day back at school, and I want them to come home and feel comforted and have a family meal where we could just sit and chat, that everyone's going to like it. And it's something that my mum and dad used to make me when I was little, where they would chop up sausages. It was always when there wasn't quite enough to feed us, like sausage, chips and beans or something, or a bacon butty. Anything left over, they would chop up sausages and chop up bits of bacon. Excuse my washing machine. Such a show off and attention seeker, honestly. They would fry it off in a pan and add some beans to it, and the beans would take on like the flavour of the sausage and the bacon. It'd be super yummy and like a little bit salty and delicious. That's ridiculous, I'm so sorry. And then they would put it over mash, and no, it's not particularly like nutritious when it comes to like vegetables. Maybe I could do some form of veg as a side. We do have some lingering broccoli. I will do that because you've made me feel bad. And I'm only joking, by the way. Thursday we are going to do teriyaki chicken with rice, broccoli and cucumber. Friday's the day that we are out for a friend's birthday, but I'm going to do the IKEA meatballs from the freezer with fries and peas for the kids. Saturday we're going to do homemade pizza night. Sunday we're going to do pork belly with the applesauce that I noticed in the fridge before, which was from Christmas Day because my grandma and gramps like that. I'm going to use that with the pork belly. I'm going to slow roast it, and I swear we've got some cider knocking around somewhere too, which we don't really drink that much, but it'll make a nice gravy. And I do have some pork gravy left in, so I can zhuzh it all up together. That would be nice. So that's Sunday, yeah. Monday's going to be Nando's night. Tuesday's going to be the sausage pasta bake with garlic bread for the kids in between swimming lessons, and we're going to have the sheet kebab, salad, raita and chapati then, because the big enough gap in between Friday and Tuesday. And then Wednesday I'm going to do the garlic prawn linguine or garlic mushroom for me, or linguine, it should be spaghetti. And then Thursday Mark wants to cook for me, and that actually kind of brings us round because that's like 8 meals. So he will sort that for next week, and then I will start again. But that Thursday it's likely the kids will have the lasagna, which I'm going to add in on my list actually. And that's our meals basically for the week. And now I need to go and get my shoes on, do the school run. So that is everything all sorted, and now all I need to do is go and pick up my click and collect order tomorrow, and then I will follow this up with the grocery haul, and hopefully you find them paired together a little bit more useful in terms of, you know, how we do what we do with food and how I come up with the ideas and stuff, and hopefully it just gives you like a bit of inspo what to do, because sometimes, I don't know about you, I do get guilty of stuff being stuck back at the cupboard or the back of the freezer and I don't utilise it. I'm not perfect by any means, but I do try my best. I won't need to do this say every week, but I will obviously have a quicker version of this each week where I just do a quick run around, or like mentally note down what we need, or what we could use up, or if I come up with an idea for something, then I will like write a note down on my phone or on my list or something and then go from there. But this is like it in a very broken down refresh way, because I don't want to eat a load of Christmas indulgence anymore. I'm craving like freshness, I'm craving spice, I'm craving vegetables and fruit and all that good stuff, so it's not a bad thing. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a lovely rest of your day, whatever you are up to, and I will hopefully see you all very, very soon.